Welcome to Tax and Revenue Administration's video on how to complete the Tourism Levy Return for periods ending before October the 1st, 2024. Who has to file a Tourism Levy Return? An entity that sells, offers for sale, or otherwise provides temporary accommodation in Alberta is required to file a return for a specific collection period. Returns are required to be filed each month or calendar quarter based on the number of sleeping rooms rented or available for rent. Refer to your approval letter to find out whether you are required to file monthly or quarterly. Returns are due on or before the 28th day after the end of each collection period. For example, a return for the January to March calendar quarter is due on or before April 28th. If the due date falls on a weekend or holiday, the next business day becomes the due date. For example, December 28th, 2024 falls on a Saturday, so the due date becomes the next business day, Monday, December 30th, 2024. Operators such as hotels, motels, or inns must file a return if they collected payment for accommodation during the collection period. If no accommodation was provided or purchased during the collection period, a nil return, one where all the return items are zero, is still required to be filed. Accommodation hosts, such as residential units, are only required to file a return when accommodation was provided or purchased during a collection period. How to complete and submit the Tourism Levy Return in tracks for periods ending before October the 1st, 2024. Log into your Trax account, go to trax.finance.gov.ab.ca. Select Next on the Trax availability page. Sign in by entering your alberta.ca account username and password. On the Trax homepage, select the account you want to file by clicking on the appropriate hyperlink under Tourism Levy. Select Account Actions from the top menu. Select File a Return from the drop-down menu. Select the period end from the drop-down menu. The current period end will appear at the top of the list. Click on Next. Enter revenue from stays. In line 20, Direct, enter all revenue for stays booked or reserved directly by the registrant. For example, all booking made by phone, your own website, or by email. In line 22, Third-party online marketplaces. Enter all revenue received by the registrant for stays booked or reserved using a third-party online marketplace. For example, Airbnb, Vrbo, Expedia, etc. This also includes revenue received by the registrant from authorized online brokers. In line 25, complimentary room rentals. Report all rentals provided to a contractor performing services for the operator. Complimentary room rentals to employees, directors, and other associated persons are no longer reported as a complimentary room rental. Enter exemptions and other deductions. In line 30, revenue from excluded and exempt stays. Record the revenue for continuous stays, 28 days or longer, billings to the Government of Canada, and eligible First Nation consumers if the facility is on a reserve in Alberta. In line 32, revenue from authorized online brokers remitting on your behalf. Enter the revenue received from authorized online brokers if they are remitting the tourism levy on your behalf. This amount must also be included in revenue reported on line 22. Enter an adjustment if applicable. Enter an amount in dollars for any adjustments to revenue in line 40, not entered above. The adjustment amount reflects the total revenue, not the amount after applying the tourism levy rate. Enter a negative number to reduce the revenue, positive number to increase revenue. A description or explanation of the adjustment is required in line 41 if a value is entered in line 40. Select Review to continue. Review Summary. Lines 28, 34, 45, and 50 will calculate and populate on the Review Summary page. Review the return. Select Previous to return to the entry screen if you need to make changes. Click Submit to send the return to TRA. Confirmation page. If the return was successfully submitted, you will see a confirmation page on the screen. Select Download to print or save a copy of the confirmation page for your records. To access the submitted information in the future, a PDF containing the submitted information is available in Tracks by selecting Account Actions from the top menu, then selecting View Assessments and Balances. Select Assessments and choose the period from the drop-down menu, then click Submit. Select the PDF icon for the period end in the Submission Details column. Remittances must be received by TRA no later than the 28th day of the month following the end of the period. A notice of assessment will be issued and available in the View Assessments and Balances section in Tracks if the return is assessed differently from what was submitted, if interest and/or a penalty was charged, or if there is an amount owing for the reporting period. See the How to Pay section on the Tourism Levy webpage for information about the various acceptable payment methods. Thank you for watching TRA's video on how to complete the Tourism Levy Return.